Hafa Day and hello. I'm Chief Judge Francis Tainiko Gatewood of the District Court of Guam. In 2016, the nation marks the 50th anniversary of the United States Supreme Court case of Miranda versus Arizona. Through this video, we hope to educate you about the famous warning that arose from that case, the Miranda warning, and some of the other ways that your rights are protected by the justice system. But first, a little background on the case of Miranda versus Arizona. Ernesto Miranda was arrested for a crime and taken into police custody, where he was interrogated by the police and he confessed to committing that crime. However, at no time before he confessed was he told of his right to remain silent or his right to have an attorney present. The United States Supreme Court determined that the police violated Mr. Miranda's Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights by failing to warn him of these rights.
Hi, I'm John Gorman, the Federal Public Defender. Do you remember what the Fifth and Sixth Amendment says? Let me remind you. The Fifth Amendment says that no person shall be held to answer for a capital or infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury, nor shall any person be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. The Sixth Amendment states that in all criminal cases, the accused has a right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury and shall have the assistance of counsel for his defense.
These rights can be found in the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution, written in 1791. They may be a little difficult to understand. We will now have some fine federal law enforcement officers recite the Miranda rights for you to better understand your rights.
You have the right to remain silent.
Anything you say
can and will be used against you in a court of law.
You have the right to an attorney.
If you cannot afford an attorney,
one will be appointed for you.
You can protect yourself by knowing your Miranda rights.
Did you catch all that? Now remember, these are your rights, and they're a foundational part of what makes our democracy great. But the Miranda rights are just the beginning of a series of procedures put in place to preserve and protect your constitutional rights in our court system.
Hafa Day. I'm U.S. Attorney Alicia Limtiaco. For example, if the federal government wishes to charge you with a felony, punishable by death or by imprisonment for more than 1 year, a grand jury of your peers must first indict you for the crime, unless you waive the indictment. This requirement comes from your Fifth Amendment right not to be charged with any capital or otherwise infamous crime unless upon a presentment or indictment of a grand jury.
Hafa Day. I'm Joaquin Manabusan, the United States Magistrate Judge for the District Court of Guam. Finally, if you are convicted of a crime, the court has procedures in place to continue to protect your rights. Do you ever ask yourself how a judge comes up with a fair sentence to punish a crime? When I sentence a defendant, I start with the sentencing guidelines published by the United States Sentencing Commission. The guidelines take into account many factors that can make a sentence harsher or more lenient depending on the facts of the case. If I think that there is a factor that is not addressed in the guidelines and justice is better served by a different sentence, I can impose a sentence that is outside the guidelines.
So as you can see, your constitutional rights flow through the justice system. Through this video, we hope you've learned a little something about your 225-year-old rights. Remember, the Miranda warning is more than words. These are your rights, so know them well. Thank you, and Tzuzus Masi.